Brianna, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to not lose yourself as a new mom, and if you do, how to gain back your spark. Alright, and let's go ahead and get started. So for some background, I am a mom. I have a 2-year-old daughter. I am a first-time mom, of course. She's my first daughter, and becoming a mom was kind of a difficult period, from being pregnant to labor and delivery to childbirth and postpartum. So I just believe that every woman needs to, have some ways to get back to herself or learn her new self and how to cope with her new transition in life. I am the first person in my friend group to have a baby. She's the first granddaughter, the first niece on my side. So I kind of went into this with just no idea, no example that was close to me. Of course, you're gonna have, your mom and, older women or any type of mom that that might be older. But for me, I didn't really have as many moms around me in my circle. So it was kind of difficult to kind of figure out how to get back to me, how to understand the new me, and kind of move on and evolve as a person. My first tip is to first accept that this is a new chapter in your life and that all of this pregnancy, postpartum, having a newborn baby, having a child is normal. All your feelings are normal. Your anxieties, your anxiousness, anything like that is completely fine. I feel like as women, we kind of get in our heads that, we're alone, we're at a one-off, that we're going through something completely different, whereas most mothers have been in your shoes. They know that, it's a difficult time, but you will get through it. My advice is to look at it as, just a new challenge, a new chapter that is, exciting. So I think that when you have that mindset that it's going to be, something new to take on, something to learn from, then it kind of brings you to a more enthusiastic mindset versus having a nervous, anxious mindset of, might not do it right, I might not cope with having a newborn baby. And so once you focus on, I'm going to have a new child, I have a new child, I'm learning my baby, the baby is learning me, then it kind of brings you into a more happy mode to kind of learn and get through this time as happily as possible. When you focus on motherhood as being a new chapter, I believe that it's best to really focus on just the positives. You're bringing a baby into this world. It's new. It's a happy moment. I would focus on that, the happiness, your new family dynamic versus, all the changes in your life, all the difficulties that it may bring, it might be. Just knowing that that's fine and using this time to not rush yourself into, snapping back, getting to how you used to be, but instead just focusing on loving your baby and loving your new dynamic. One of the main things you need to focus on is your baby and understanding that the first beginning stages of postpartum and the newborn stage is going to be hard, but that's just what it is. For me, I believe that the good outweighs the bad always. So, I believe that everything in this world that is good is difficult, but it's always going to be rewarding. So once you always have that in mindset in your head that it's going to be difficult, but all things that are good are difficult, then it will help you get through that. My next tip would be to, instead of focusing on getting back to the old you, instead understand and learn the new you. I feel like society kind of puts an emphasis on getting back to the old you or snapping back, whereas I feel like women, we should kind of learn to accept the fact that the postpartum and motherhood stage kind of transforms you into a whole new person. You've never been in this situation before. If you're a first-time mom, that's always going to bring new changes, new challenges. And instead of trying to get back to how things used to be or kind of reminiscing on how your life was before your baby, what helped for me was to kind of sit down and, figure out, who am I now that I am a mom? It would get me kind of sad to think, before, I was this way. I could, drop what I was doing, be spontaneous, go out with my friends at the drop of a dime. Whereas now that I'm a mom, now that I have a family, I have to kind of be more responsible and take into account that I have a child to look up to me and depend on me, as well as, a family. I have a partner, a baby. It's different than when I was, 19, 20, 21. So instead of having that, make you sad, instead you should be like, okay, well, now I'm more mature. Now I'm more responsible. I want to, see what type of person I am now that I've had these challenges and adversity. So I believe that motherhood is a great time to look at yourself, reflect, and see, what do I actually like to do now that I'm a more mature person, knowing that I have responsibility, knowing that I have a baby, a child that's, eventually going to look up to me, and, you want to be a good example for them. So that means, doing what you actually want to do. For me, it made me really figure out what's my purpose in life, what do I like to do, what is going to evolve me and push me into being a better person for not only my daughter, not only for my family, but for myself, So instead of, harping on what used to be, kind of use this as a motivation to be your best self and get to your best, higher self that you can possibly be. Building off of that, my next tip is to start back old hobbies that you enjoyed, or start new hobbies that you might enjoy now that you have a new life dynamic. So for me, that meant, going back to things that I used to do just because I enjoyed it, not because, other people liked it, not because of other people telling you maybe you should do this, you should do that, but really get into things that you enjoy just for the fun of it. So for me, that is, doing my hair, doing my makeup, working out, staying active. For example, I started back doing aerial lyra hoop classes. I did that before I was pregnant with my daughter, and then I took a break, of course, because you can't do that when you're pregnant. So I decided to start that back and, going just for myself, just to have a fun outlet that doesn't involve my daughter, doesn't involve my partner, any family. I don't even go with, friends. So I completely will go by myself, take a class just for the fun, just to, give me some type of enjoyment that is great for my personality and who I am as a person. So you could do that with anything. You can do Pilates, you can start knitting, you can, start up a podcast, any type of hobby that you wanted to do, but you were scared to do, or, didn't have time, or you just put it off in the back burner. Now would be a great time to start those hobbies to give some enjoyment to yourself and some fulfillment to yourself. My next tip is to focus on your health entirely. So that is physical health as well as mental health. Especially during your postpartum stages, you want to make sure you're eating the right foods, not only for you, but if you're nursing, to, nurse your baby and to get all the nutrients you need to have a healthy baby and a healthy you on the inside, and to not overdo it with working out just for the sake of, getting your body back to where it was, but to, overall, take care of yourself and watch your health, and as well as work on your mental health and watch your mental health. It's really easy to creep into a depression, like I said, with maybe thinking about, how your life was, the difficulty of the newborn stages. Really, all stages can kind of put you in a depressive state if you allow it. So always, taking a break if you need it. Give the baby to a trusted family member, your partner. Take breaks when you need to. Lean on your community if you have it. And then even if you do have a community, if you don't have a community, get into therapy. I know I was going to therapy for a stint during my postpartum, just to, always make sure I'm maintaining that mental health awareness. So it did help me when I was getting into that kind of postpartum depression state, but I did catch it in time, so it didn't develop into anything negative. So I would focus on your physical and mental health as well as spiritual health, but we'll get into that as well. In addition to those tips, my next tip is to take a break from being a mom. Like I said, you can really slip into a depressive state, or you can kind of feel like you have mom guilt for not doing enough when really you might just be burnt out. So like I said, I would lean on a community if you have one, lean on your partner if you can. I think this is the crucial time for you and your partner. For me, he was a big help during, all stages he is a help. So I think that is very helpful as a mom to have, people you can lean on and a partner you can trust to give the baby to them, or have them take the mental load, physical load when you feel overwhelmed or over capacity. So in addition to that, doing your hobbies or just taking a break, taking a step back, and making sure you focus on how you feel, how you are, and how you can help not only you but the baby. So taking breaks actually does not neglect the baby. The baby is fine as long as you're fine. So always have that as a mindset. And my last and most important tip that I have for new moms and what to do if you lost your spark is to lean on God during this time period and moving forward. Nowhere else you can gain your spark back than the person who gave it to you, which is God. So using this time to build a relationship with God if you haven't already. For me, this really was a crucial time for me with pregnancy, with labor and delivery, and postpartum, and every day, momhood. You're gonna always need God. You're gonna need God regardless in your life, but this time especially. So for me, that means praying, playing worship music, praying over your child. For me, I got into reading the Bible more frequently, and so I always say that is the most helpful. That's going to be your strongest, source of happiness, peace, everything. So, and then especially since, motherhood, that's going to be the most anxious you're ever going to be. There's always going to be something that could go wrong. You always want your child to be healthy, happy. You want to be healthy and happy. There's no other place you can go to but going to God. So He's going to give you the strength you need to get through it, the peace you need to get through it, and the overall happy mindset to get through it. So just always know that, He's with you every step of the way, even if you're depressed, even if you're happy, even if you feel unmotivated, not like yourself. You can always go to Him in this time of need. So, all right, and those were all my tips for first-time moms and moms who might have lost their spark and need to gain it back. Just know that even if you lose it, even if you feel like you lose it, even if you feel like you're off track or unmotivated, you can always get back on. So just know that even if you hit rock bottom, you can always get back to the top. So thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and tune in for weekly videos. Bye.